Welcome to Not That Girl Anymore, part of the Liminal Network. I'm your host, Dawn Bouillon. This is more than a podcast. It's a sisterhood. We're reclaiming our voices, our worth, and our lives. One story, one truth, one brave step at a time. Hey, friends. Welcome back to Not That Girl Anymore. I'm your host, Dawn Bouillon, trauma therapist and coach, and the founder here of Embrace Your Brave. And with it being the holiday season, we are starting a new series called Braving the Holidays. And today we're going to be talking about something we all feel this time of year, the pressure to show up perfectly, keep everyone happy, and somehow avoid losing our minds in the process. If the holidays bring up stress, guilt, old family patterns, or that urge to be the hero to everyone, this episode is for you. And I have invited Ashley Woodard and Dottie Griffin to come have a little conversation about boundaries for the holidays. And Ashley, you want to get us started?
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about perfectionism and boundaries during the holidays.
Mm.
A lot of the times, the holiday seasons can trigger our perfectionism. In some ways, that our perfectionism can be triggered is, the holidays can activate old family role. Like we
Mm.
talked about in the episode with dysfunctional family systems, it's, the scapegoat. It can be the helper. It can be the fixer, the peacekeeper. There's also like this social media pressure to create these magical moments and have these beautiful photos and the matching outfits and the beautiful Christmas tree and like whatever. All of these unnecessary things.
Oh,
And then there's that inner child fear of disappointing people that can resurface. It can be that inner child of like, oh, am I making all the things? Am I doing all the things? Am I decorating enough? Are we doing enough activities or games or whatever that might look like? Busyness can become a way to avoid feelings until we burn out. And that's a big thing during the holidays that a lot of people experience is that burnout feeling. Basically, perfectionism is not about being perfect. It's about trying to feel safe. It's trying to create this sense of control, this safety around the holiday season where everything is so busy and so hectic and chaotic sometimes.
yes.
Some signs that your perfectionism is showing up. You overcommit because you
Mm.
don't want to upset anyone. You feel guilty saying no, even when you're exhausted. I know I've done this many
Yes.
times. And it gets worse around the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
You're constantly comparing your traditions, home, or parenting to others.
Mm.
Or sometimes people are comparing themselves to you. Like,
Hmm.
in a conversation, they're like, "Oh, you do this, I do that, and oh, da, 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 da." And then you're like, just puts you in that weird
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Um, and you feel responsible for making sure everyone has a good time.
Mm.
You feel like you can't rest until every detail is handled. If the holiday depends entirely on you to succeed, that's not a holiday, that's a job. So
Yes.
I'm gonna go on to boundaries, and then I want you guys to kind of respond, and I want to hear some things that stuck out to you guys as well, Don and Dottie.
Okay.
So boundaries that you can set this season,
Mm.
time boundaries, right? Number one, time boundaries. We'll be there from 12 to 3. Then we're heading home to rest. You don't have to stay the entire time at the party. You don't have to go until your social battery is completely low and you hate everyone.
Right.
You can leave at any moment.
Yes.
You can take the holidays slow. You don't have to overexert. You don't have to overdo. You
Mm.
can just do as much as you feel capable of doing, as much as you feel like is healthy for you.
Mhm.
Number 2 would be emotional boundaries. So, emotional boundaries would be saying, "I'm not available to talk about that today."
Yeah.
Let's save this conversation for another time. It can also be, I'm not going to talk about faith. I'm not going to talk about family. I'm not going to talk about whatever it is, politics
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
We're not having this conversation. And that's a way that you can protect your emotions and kind of have emotional boundaries, internal boundaries.
Mhm.
Number 3 would be capacity boundaries.
Mm.
I'm doing 1 dish, not 3.
Yeah.
Not all of them, you know?
No, I would not
It
be
can
providing the whole meal.
exactly. It can be, if you're hosting, it can be, "Okay, I can make 5 things or 2 things or 1 thing, and then I'll ask other people to help me."
Yes. And everybody can help me clean up afterwards. It'll be so
Yes, yes. Have your designated cleaner-uppers. Alright, and the last one is gonna be family dynamics.
Mm.
So we're choosing what's best for our family this year. Telling your family, "I love y'all, but I'm not," and I said this earlier too, "I love y'all, but I'm not discussing parenting, politics, or faith today."
But I love
And
you.
just yes, love you guys.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, a boundary is not a wall, it's just clarity.
Yeah, and boundaries are how we love ourselves and other people at the same time. Right.
Mm,
So if I'm not saying no and I'm saying yes to everyone else, then I'm not loving me.
yeah.
I'm trying to please everyone else. But you feel that added pressure during the holidays because you don't want to disappoint anybody. And you're like, but it's the holidays. Like, it's this one time, do everything all over again, you know?
Mhm.
It's like, and it's like, no, it's a hell no. Like,
Mhm.
because that's not loving me. But I do see how hard that can be because the pressure is on, during the holiday season. We want to keep everybody smiling and happy, even if it's not you, even if you're not smiling or happy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, for sure. When boundaries are crossed, or, when you've reached your boundary, when
Mm.
you start resenting everyone.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
making all the dishes at the end of the day, you're going to resent everyone who didn't make a dish or didn't help clean up, or, all of those things. There's so much pressure at the holidays to perform. And, if we could, as families, get together and decide beforehand who's doing what, who's bringing what.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That takes the pressure off of one person, right? And then, yeah, it's a matter of getting together, even with some family members that you may not get along with, because you're expected to do that. And it's making the boundary of, okay, this conversation, I don't want to be in this conversation. So it could be like you said, Ashley, let's not discuss this, or it could be, I'm going to step outside for a few moments.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Excusing yourself from this conversation and maybe gone to another conversation. We have those choices during the holidays that can kind of take some of that anxiety off of us.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah.
But when you start resenting people, that's when you need to really kind of just stop and think, okay, this isn't fun. This isn't holiday-ish. What can we do different?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you mentioned, Ashley, too, like our tendency to fall back into our roles, right?
Mhm.
So, especially going back home or, our tendency to fall back into those old patterns of either caretaking or helping or people pleasing or whatever that kind of
Mm.
looks like. It's like the holidays can just be slippery because it's easy to fall back into that. And so it's how do we keep our boundaries during the holidays? How do we keep
Mhm.
our honoring ourselves, even when it might not be comfortable
Yeah.
for everyone else?
Yes. And that's something too, it's like guilt doesn't equal wrong, right? Just
Mhm.
because you feel guilt doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It just
Yeah.
means you're doing something different.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge part of healing because I think sometimes we let our feelings guide us and we're like, oh, this feels so wrong. Like this feels so, but it's just because it's different.
Mhm.
And when you're showing up differently, And when you're healing and you're going through the holiday season and you are trying to show up differently, it can feel so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so important to just override that guilt and allow yourself to say no.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to not go if you don't need to. Allow yourself to limit the time you spend there.
Right.
Limit the conversations. You know, we don't have to. I know for me, with like the people pleasing in me, is like I want to talk to everybody who wants to talk to me. I want to be nice and kind to everyone, but not everybody else is kind, and not everybody else is like. Some people are draining to talk to. You know, some people will guilt trip you.
Mm.
They will, you know, do things that will just make you feel emotionally drained at the end of the conversation, and you just those are the conversations that you have full permission to say, "Okay, well, hope you guys have a good holiday. I'll see you later." You know? Like,
Wow.
or we're not gonna talk about this, or just limit, and just knowing too, like, who those people are, and that's really important, is, like, kinda knowing, gauging the situation beforehand, like, if there's a f side of the family that's more draining to be around, like,
Yeah.
really ask yourself, "What's my capacity right now? Do I have the capacity to spend a lot of time with these people? Is
Mhm.
it gonna really drain me, for all the other things that I have to get done during the holiday season, to spend a lot of time with these people?" And if the
Mhm.
answer is yes or no, then, you adjust your time and you kinda set those boundaries accordingly, because it
Right.
really
Yeah.
just protects you, it protects your peace, and it gives you more energy to do the things that you actually do wanna do.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's not just about, you know, being able to say no with family. It's also all of the other parties, the office party,
Mhm.
friends party,
Mhm.
church gathering. Everybody has a gathering around Christmas time, and it's giving yourself permission to know which of those you need to go to. You
Mhm.
feel important to show, it's important to show up, and
Right.
those where you just don't have the energy for. And
Yeah.
it's okay to just say, look, I'm already overcommitted. Thank you for
Mhm.
the invite. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to show up, you're already tired, everything's starting to trigger you. And you
Mhm.
think, you get in that FOMO, like, well, if I don't show up, what am I going to miss? And you also, think if I leave early, they're going to talk about me. Well, yeah, if they're friends or family that's going to talk about you, they're going to talk about you anyway. They're going to talk about you
Yeah.
tomorrow. Even if you stayed the whole time, they'll talk about you tomorrow. So
Yeah.
it's just not worth your peace,
Mhm.
Yeah.
to over commit yourself and feel so overwhelmed.
And you mentioned it too earlier, Ashley, but sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes you don't need to go. Like, I want to give people permission to not go to holiday because the truth is, it's your holiday too. We don't have to be living our life trying to please everyone else and make everyone else's holiday whatever and forget that it's your holiday too.
Mhm.
And what makes you happy? What makes you feel at peace? What makes you feel, what does it look like? What does a holiday look like for you that actually honors you and brings you joy? Like, you get to do that too because you matter,
Mhm.
like
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Giving yourself permission to just, like, really, and that's, like, another way that you can show up really authentically too,
yeah,
is, like, saying yes. Let's, yeah, your yeses be yeses, your nos be nos, and you're just like, "This is me. This is what I want. This is what aligns with me."
yeah,
And on and another thing, a practical tool you can do is making a yes or no list, and
mm,
what matters for you, writing it down, like, is this something I'm gonna do this year? Is this something that's important to me? Like, and really thinking about that, and not thinking about, like, oh, Susie's gonna be mad, or Aunt whatever is gonna be upset, but
yeah,
really just thinking, like, what is important to me?
right,
What makes me feel good, and what's really gonna make this holiday season special for me and my family?
right.
creating your own traditions and enjoying those, and if it happens to be at the same time of another family gathering, well, we're doing our own family thing. We don't have to be a part of the larger family all the time. But there's such a pressure around the holidays that everybody's family in the whole wide world is getting together. So we must do that when that's really not what's happening. But that's the mindset that we're conditioned. We bring in all our old traditions from when we grew up, when really our kids think that's lame, right? They want new traditions and make new traditions, and how unique and beautiful is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. I mean,
I love
it's just another opportunity to take your power back and take your pin
Mhm.
back, right?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
y'all have told me how to do holidays for my entire life, but that's my pin, and I'm gonna decide how I want to
Right.
Mhm.
how I want to do
Mhm.
this, especially when you have kids, and you're breaking some of the old cycles or old traditions and creating new ones. But like, you get to do that, and that's a good
Mhm.
thing to do.
Yeah. And you get to think about what's important to me, what's
Mm-hmm.
meaningful to me, is matching PJs something that means a lot to me? Is that something that I love to do, or is that something that
Yeah,
I'm like, it's not really that important to me?
yeah.
I
Right.
personally love the matching PJs. I think it's so fun. I want my whole family to match, and we
Yes.
usually do it every year.
I love that. And
And
Mhm.
and because it's
I love
important to
it.
you. You do
Mhm.
it.
It is, and then there are other things, it's like, we have to normalize doing things easier. The
Mhm.
other things too that aren't important to us, like, we can go and buy store-bought meals, guys.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
We don't
Sure
have
can.
to make everything ourselves.
Oh, say that louder for the
And we can also have really simple meals. Like,
Yeah.
if you wanna have a ham sandwich Christmas,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, why not, Like, Christmas
That's it.
breakfast doesn't have to be this big buffet, it can be one thing, just to
Yeah.
make sure everybody's fed.
Yeah.
And not attending all the events, that's,
Mm,
like, something we've mentioned multiple times, it's like, you can do that, you can keep it as simple
yeah.
or however you want it, it's just kinda depends on you. And so,
Mm.
basically, this is just giving people permission,
Right.
simplify, and really think about, what do you
Mm.
want your holiday season to look like?
Hmm.
What's important for you going into the holiday season? What's important to you?
Yeah. I mean, just I remember when I didn't know that that was an option.
Mhm,
So it's just so encouraging. Give permission. Like,
mhm,
I know you matter. What you
yeah,
want matters. What,
mhm,
your feelings matter. All of that matters. And like, you get to say no. Um,
mhm,
someone used to say in seminary, no is the fence to protect what you've already said yes to. And
mhm,
that yes is it's you, it's your
mhm,
family, it's your peace, it's your happiness, your joy, like all of that stuff. And
mhm,
sometimes no is the most important answer to protect those things,
Mhm.
yeah,
especially during the holidays.
Mhm.
mhm,
And it's the pressure of having to buy so many presents, and
Yeah.
all your paper has to match and your bows have to be beautiful and all of those things. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
mm,
You can buy one or two presents for it's we go so overboard with that because
Mhm.
it's really like comparing to the next family. Oh, I bought my kid this and this and this, and you think, oh my gosh, I got to get my child the latest and greatest
mm,
toy, because so and so is going to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
lot of pressure that we put on ourselves that we don't need to.
Mm.
mm,
Yep.
We can let that go,
Mm.
and for our own peace of mind.
That's
mhm,
right. That's a good word.
Yeah, I didn't get out to buy that 8th present for you. I'm sorry.
Well, that's not what the holidays are about anyway.
You're
Yeah.
You
amen.
know, they're not about the gifts, they're not about all the hundreds of gatherings and all of the things that we and the decorations and whatever. It's really about being with the people you love and doing the things that you love, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
finding that out for you, because everybody's different and your family is gonna be different than another family. And so finding that out for you is so important.
Yeah.
And if you're stressed to the gills with
Mhm.
everything that the pressure that you're putting on yourself, we're going to be missing the whole point,
Mhm.
Yeah.
being with the people that you love, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Creating
Yes.
the memories and just the fun of just being together.
Mhm.
Miss out on all that. So yeah, this is such a great conversation and just reminder. Ashley, thank you for this of just, you know, we are allowed to say no. We are allowed to leave early if we
Mhm.
want to. We can go for 5 minutes if we want to. Peace out.
Mhm.
And we can change our mind too, right? We can walk in, nothing goes like it's supposed to go, turn around and walk your ass right back out. And we're going to celebrate that.
Mhm.
Right?
Yes.
So you are allowed to change your mind and you don't have to explain yourself.
Mm-mm.
No can mean no, and that can be a complete sentence. Um,
Yes.
you're allowed to protect your peace and you're allowed to give your children a different holiday experience than everyone thinks that you should be.
Mhm.
Or yourself, because it's your holiday too. It's not just about pleasing everyone else. It's about how do we honor you? How do we protect your peace? How do you choose joy and rest and connection, right, for the holiday? Because
Mhm.
that's what it's about. Like you're reminding us what it's all about,
Yeah,
right?
it is. That's the whole point.
So, any other final words, guys, that we want to leave to our listeners before we close out?
I would say give yourself permission to just show up authentically. Give yourself permission to
Mm.
really think about what's important to you
Yeah.
and think about what's healthy for you during this holiday season and what's not healthy for you. And really give yourself permission to just to show up and be present and not be perfect.
Yes.
Just to be present and not perfect.
Yeah.
Because
Say it again.
that's that's the biggest gift you can give your family. That's the biggest
Mhm.
gift you can give your kids. That's the biggest gift you can give your friends.
That's
You
right.
know, everyone is just to show up and be really present. Because when you're distracted with all the things you need to do, it's like you're not actually present in the moment. You're not present to
Mm.
what is actually happening and the
Right.
point of this all, which is getting together with the people you love and connecting with people.
Yeah.
I love that. Being present in the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Instead of worrying about all of the things you didn't do and the presents you didn't get and whether you wrapped them perfectly, and just being present and maybe even being the change in your family,
Mhm.
of showing up and asking people, how are you doing?
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
lot of times we have such shallow conversations at Christmas.
Mhm.
It's the
Yeah.
same old stories that come up. Let's dig a little bit deeper and be a family and support each other, encourage each other, and what's going on in our lives right now. That's what family is all about, or should be,
Mhm.
Mhm.
especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loving and supporting each other for who
Mhm.
we are and for where we are on the way to where we're going.
And even if it's like chosen family, because sometimes it's not our real family, but it's our chosen family,
Mhm.
or our friends, the people that we love and want to be around and celebrate with.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And I'll just echo what you guys are saying. Like, it's your holiday too, right? And maybe if you've never thought about it before, what do you wish your holiday looked like? And make that happen.
Yeah.
Like What does peace look like for you? What does joy look like for you? And
Mhm.
start that tradition, you
Mhm.
know? Wear those matching PJs. Spend
Yes.
that money on those matching PJs if that's what you love and if that's what makes you happy, right? Like,
Mhm.
do it. Do the damn thing.
Mhm.
Because listen, we only get one life. We got to live it.
Mhm.
Right? And that includes on the holidays.
Yes.
So really good reminders today, guys. Protect your peace on the holidays. Boundaries are good. Boundaries are loving. Boundaries are kind. And boundaries are about loving you and other people at the same time. So, y'all go out there and do your thing and work your boundaries. Say no a lot
Mhm.
and um, and just remember, you matter. What you want matters. Your joy matters. Your life matters. And you're not that girl anymore. Hey, friend, just a quick note. I am a licensed therapist, but this podcast isn't therapy. It's not meant to diagnose or treat anything. It's here to offer you support, encouragement, and real conversation. If you're struggling, please reach out to a trusted professional. You are not alone, and you are so worthy of healing. Even if your voice shakes, keep using it. Your healing matters. If you're ready to go deeper, you can book a session by clicking the link in the show notes or visiting our website, embraceyourbrave.org, to learn more about our therapy and trauma-informed coaching options. Let's explore how we can walk this journey together. You are not alone. Embrace your brave, sis. You're not that girl anymore.